KTRS.
We will check back with Boston as news warrants, and we'll check in with Scott Crothers a little bit later on this half hour to get the latest on the markets, plus a couple of St. Louisans who competed in the Boston Marathon. We'll check in with them a little bit later on. Yesterday, MoDOT, the Missouri Department of Transportation, kicked off Work Zone Awareness. Tom Blair is the MoDOT Assistant District Manager. Tom Blair, welcome to the Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, McGraw.
What is Work Zone Awareness?
Well, Work Zone Awareness, it's that time. We have a national Work Zone Awareness since the late 90s to raise all of our awareness to the fact that it's not only grass is beginning to grow, but actually work zones are starting to pop up everywhere. And we need to be aware of those so we can all drive safely through them.
How much of a problem is crashes in work zone areas?
Well, for example, in the St. Louis region, last year we had 533 crashes in our work zones. Those resulted in 4 fatalities, 13 disabling injuries, which included 9 MoDOT injuries.
That is a lot. I did not know that there were over 500 crashes in work zone sites. Did you pinpoint a reason as to why?
Well, the number one reason is typically distracted driving. As motorists, we're not always aware and taking our job of driving as seriously, especially when we're going through work zones. And many of our work zones in St. Louis are pretty complex to drive through, so we definitely need to have our eyes on the road.
So when it says slow down, work zone ahead, the signs actually mean something?
Absolutely, they definitely do.
How much time when you're planning a work zone goes into trying to figure out what's the best and safest way around that work zone?
Months and months, and sometimes even years.
Really?
Yes, it's Blanchard Bridge, for example. We spent over a year trying to figure out what the best way to safely reconstruct Blanchard Bridge is. Talk
about Blanchard Bridge for a moment. How is that work zone area going? Is people abiding by the safety rules as they go over?
Yeah, the I-70 Blanchard Bridge project is going well. We were able to close one bridge and put head-to-head traffic, 3 lanes each direction of I-70, one of our most heavily traveled Missouri River crossings in the state, against each other head-to-head. So far, the traffic has been handling it well. We have motor assist sitting at the end of the bridge, AM and PM rush. So if anybody stops on a bridge, you'll find our motor assist operator there within moments.
Is it as simple as just slowing down?
It is pretty much that simple. You slow down, keep your eyes on the wheel. We'll all get through the work zone safely, and all of our employees and our contracted employees will be able to get home safely also.
I drive on Highway 64, Highway 40 every single day, and right by Kings Highway, you took down that bridge. I guess that was the Sarah Street Bridge, is that?
Yes.
And you have white solid lines going through there, which means no passing, no changing lanes, and it's a pretty rocky area. How's that area holding up?
Yeah, so far that work zone's going well. The majority of motorists are getting through there safely. They're driving cautiously. It helps, I think, that there's some curves that were already there, so everybody sort of knew they had to pay attention to that section. It's not a straight section of road anyway.
Right.
But, yeah, it's going well.
Is there a work zone that is more dangerous and you want to call attention to than others that people should pay particular attention to?
Yeah, we have 5 this year in the St. Louis region. We already mentioned I-70 Blanchard. You already mentioned the I-64 Tower Grove to Jefferson project. We also have the 270 widening on southbound from Doherty Ferry down to I-44. We have our Missouri interchange with the new Mississippi River Bridge in North St. Louis City. And then we have Route 100 in Franklin County. We're doing widening out in Franklin County.
All right, so those are that Mississippi River Bridge is coming along pretty quick.
It is, yes. We're hoping to close up that gap sometime this summer and connect Missouri and Illinois.
And when is that bridge going to be finished up?
We are scheduled to have it finished up the beginning, say January, February of next year. Got my fingers crossed. It might be sooner, but
sure.
January, February is the scheduled date.
And that road sort of leads right into Tucker and Washington Avenue, right? That's sort of whatever that highway is. That road seems to be almost done, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah. When you look at the Missouri side, most of the roadway going up to the bridge is predominantly done. You go over on the Illinois side, they just have a lot more road to build and bridges to build, and they're on schedule. They're working really hard.
What's going to be not the name of the bridge, because I know everyone wants that to be called Stan Musial, but that road that Tucker would then take to then turn into that bridge? Do we have any idea what that highway or road is named?
I don't recall that off the top of my head.
Okay. And then lastly, Tom Blair, while we have you, MoDOT Assistant District Manager, this weekend you're shutting down the Jefferson Avenue Bridge over Highway 64.
Yeah, after Thursday morning rush hour, the Jefferson Bridge over I-64 itself will close. Friday evening and throughout the weekend, I-64 will be closed, all to allow our contractor to tear down the Jefferson overpass that goes over I-64. Expect for that to be closed 3 to 4 months. We have detour routes. Most people in the immediate area know how to get around when Jefferson's closed, but
right.
We have parallel routes.
You got it. Tom Blair, MoDOT Assistant District Manager. Lastly, for people to find out more about work zone safety, any website that they can go to?
Yeah, you can always go to MoDOT.org. MoDOT.org, and we have a traveler information map that shows you all our work zones that are taking place as well as our plan in the next few days.
MoDOT.org. There's a website for you. Tom Blair, thanks for checking in. 6:44 traffic, weather, sports, and business news. The most important 15 minutes of the day next on Kate.